Buddy, welcome back to more of Let's Play Motorsport Manager. Surging Absurdity closing in on the end here now with just 3 races left to go. You can see we're first and fourth in the driver's standings as Gabler overtook Baggs for third, winning in Ardennes. 21-point lead, solid lead now over Spartan. And we just want to try to hold that. If we can, we're working on maxing out that last engine. Other than that, not going to bother with the gearbox. We're just moving forward with the rest of the season. Bank balance almost up even. Should be positive after this next race. XBC Sport. Dagger Stefansson agent has been telling reporters you're interested in signing his client up. Huh. I'll split the difference there. Interesting. May look into it one day. I don't care about next year. Report on Ardennes. Okay. And we have finished our repair. Mia Holgerson, can you promise me that you'll improve our test track? No, I cannot. Throw a fit if you want. Okay, yeah, we haven't quite. There's our repair. And yeah, we'll finish that well before the race. And that's going to be everything. There we are, Friday the 30th. And we stop so we know that they're idle. We know they're idle. We don't care. Another reminder that we're doing well, being first in the championship. Vancouver, 48 laps, almost 3 miles, medium length, and likely to be some rain. Suspension is key, and ultra soft and super soft tires. I haven't seen ultra soft in quite a while. Really good braking makes Mia happy. Excuse me. Okay, and we're listed as the team to beat. Lori's hoping to close the gap on Holgerson. The thought of beating Holgerson is what gets me up in the morning. I will catch her. Okay. Dagger Stefansson says being mid-table sucks. Can't show off his skills as a driver. And we've got an issue. Rumors of a rift have emerged within the halls of Wolfhagen Racing's HQ. Baggs overheard his very own chairman criticizing his driving skill. The chairman was all sorts. He's useless, couldn't drive his way out of a car park. He's got worse overtaking skills than my mom. Will burst right into his office and gave him both barrels. It was a huge argument. So the chairman happiness is down 25. That's it. Well, I could care less how happy the chairman is, frankly. Which is... yeah, he's still happy. He's just not super happy. Whatever. Let's take a look at our sponsors. Okay, so we've got the Ambrosia here for 6th or above. I don't want to go too much higher than that. Second. Probably not going to use those. But none of them give me a whole lot of upfront. I'm just going to go with Wonder Luck because I get the measly 100K. I don't plan on selecting any of those, so whatever. That puts us 7,000 to the positive. And then let's see. Yeah, Belmina, let's take the 4 million up front there. Now be all happy with the money in your bank account. We'll take the 6th. And our bonus isn't as high because we took the lump sum as opposed to having the fixed payment before. We're still going to be in the positive, though, if we complete that, which 6th or above we should be able to do. So, what's our temperatures looking like? 19, 14, and 15. Probably good for super soft, so it's going to be heavy rain on the day. That'll be interesting, and during practice. So, yeah, but with those temperatures, I still like super softs. They're much more durable than the ultras. And still not happy with the car, even with the engine maxed out. Well, that's just too bad, isn't it? We're going to have to deal with it. They're picking us first and second. And, yeah, let's get to work in Vancouver. Alright then. Suspension and spoiler being the vital ones. $315 is our bonus. Drivers aren't sure what they want to do now. Looks like, okay, it's going to rain. Not till a little bit later. Okay, so we're going to have, how long? 6 to 7 minutes. So 6 to 7 minutes to get out there on the super softs for that first set and see what happens. Doesn't look like Holgerson wants anything too complicated. Will wants things a little bit lower here. Yep, 4 laps of race trim, just what we want. Okay. So we'll get the drivers out there, both of them looking solid. 5-1 for Holgerson, 5-5 for Baggs. Nothing exciting, but not too bad either. This looks like a short version of this track, so I'm thinking the times might be better than the 126. We'll see how that goes. Now it's 14 and then 13 degrees out here. And you can see the super softs even cooling off a bit. It's supposed to be 15 on race day, so it's probably between supers and ultras. But I would still want the supers just because unless it's really cool, the ultras are just, they burn out so much faster. Now you can see we're a minority, 6 cars out in supers, the rest on ultras. So we're probably going to see them qualify much faster. Both drivers liking the gear ratios. And time's a little bit faster, but not a lot, around 1:20. And that really is very average lap length in terms of time. Holgersen wants more weight in the front of the car. And Baggs wants more weight in the back of the car. So we'll see how that goes. Probably one of them is right and the other one wrong, but we'll do what they ask when it's time to make those adjustments. Which is probably not too far away. Now that's looking like weather is going to have some period of heavy rain, but I don't think it's going to get quite wet enough for wets. So I think we're looking at inters. We've got our level 1 race trim. And then are we going to get to level 2? Because I'd like to stay out long enough to get to level 2 on the super softs before going inters. Baggs wants a softer handling along with the weight towards the back. You can see our times 9th and 11th not impressive. Okay, both want softer handling. They both agree on softer handling, but Holgersen says weight in the front, and Baggs says no, weight in the back. Okay. The rain's starting to come. Now the thing is, if we come in now, we have a better chance. Yeah, we're going to want inters on till the end. It's going to rain during the race, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to come in with both drivers. It's really touchy, but I'm going to try to get that done. Egads. Well, Mia does not like anything except for the speed balance. 60%. That's pretty revolting. Wants the weight more towards the front, and not by a little bit. And then softer suspension. I like the look of that. Race trim 4 laps. And I think that might be not quite enough. I'm going to go with 8. Both drivers. Okay. And a little bit better with Baggs, whose form sucks, but 77% because the speed again right on, not as bad here. Now the thing is, he says he wants more weight towards the back, but there's not enough room here for that. So I think that he's just wrong. I'm going to go with the Baggs is just wrong theory. Both drivers wanting more. Okay, let's. No, not understeer. Yeah, so let's put that there. Yeah. I'm going to go with that. 8 laps and inters. And of course, we'll fix all that up tomorrow. But Holgersen's still running solid. Baggs has really fallen off. And so now our goal is to max out the race trim and get to level 2 on inters if we can. And be close. But I don't think we're going to get to level 2 on super softs. So that's kind of why I went out like this. And you can see I'm literally going through the other cars now. I don't think I've seen that before. That's, I'm pretty sure that's a glitch. So it's always forced me to go around them before. That's weird. Level 2 race trim, though. I did indeed, and I'm glad you like it, Will. So you were, we changed it the opposite way from what you wanted, but you were happy with it. So the Will Bags is wrong theory was correct, and Holgerson also happy. So we went the right direction on that. And it's looking like we're not going to make the time for the level 2 inters. Could be wrong, but I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to depend, as usual. No, we cannot, Will. But we will do it later. So we could have been wrong on the handling, man. That's interesting. And her form, Mia's form going down, so neither driver driving particularly well. It's going to depend, though, on when we hit the finish line. Getting that last lap after the time is technically up. We're not going to bother coming in to switch to qualifying at all, because that probably wouldn't do any good. We're going to hit our level 3 race trim, that's for sure. And there it is. Question is are these last 2 laps enough to hit the inters? Because that's all we're going to get is these last 2. So the handling is all we're really wondering about here. I think we don't have the handling right, so we're probably going to be, you know, somewhere in the 80s or maybe 90 on our setup. And of course, we're not going to improve our times because of the wet weather. The faster times were done with dry weather. So this really isn't going to be a good indicator of how fast we are. And we appear to be on our final lap here as the track drying out. It has stopped raining. And Holgerson wanting softer handling again. We will need to revisit that. It's close. Or are we going to just miss it? Bags is finished. Yep. Look at that. It's just, you can't even see how much we missed it by. Oh my goodness. Bag says it's too soft and Holgerson wants it softer, but we'll have to look at that. But wow, just missed. It'd be really nice to have that. That could make a difference in the race for sure. Okay. Gabler happy with the practice. But again, that doesn't mean much considering it was raining for most of it. Okay, qualifying is supposed to be dry for, in theory. We'll hit our super softs and our inters because why not? Hmm, 62%. Well, we have a lot of work to do. So we're going to go back out on supers. It's going to be dry all day, fine. I'm going to go back out on supers, whole bunch of start and stops, and try to fix this up. Okay, so this was very poor, and that was also very poor. So we want more understeer, obviously. And I'm thinking probably a little bit less on the cornering. Okay. So let's like throw that down there or something. Just put cornering there and see what happens. Yeah, I'm just going to try that. And, you know, coming from 60 to 62%, we're not trying to hit it right on the button. We're trying to get it a lot closer and figure out where we want it to be. Okay, so great, great, and ugh. So clearly you want more understeer even though you don't think you do. And let's leave everything else where it is for the moment. And what was it at before? Or there. This was poor, so we're going to want it like more down there. Like that or something. Try that out. Neither driver burning it up either. We could stand to have some better showings. Hopefully that will happen by the time of the race, but I wouldn't bet on it. This could just be one where we struggle a bit. Not terrible, just a little bit off. Looks like conditions are going to be better later on. At least somewhat. Although the temperature is going to go down. No sign of any rain or anything. We'll want to watch that closely. We should have time at least for another start and stop. 84%. Okay, that's closer. It's not good, but it's closer. Let's take a look at the cornering first. Very poor. Good. And okay, so we want to be like way at the end. And then handling. So I want even more understeer. Handling way at the end. Or this one was way at the end, rather. Let's try that. And bags up to 94%. Okay, that's better. Cornering's still not there. Poor. Very poor. Or poor. No, that was poor, and that was great. Then end up good. So, okay, we want a little bit more on the low speed. And then handling. Poor. Very poor. And then great. So a little bit more understeer, a little bit more here. Yeah, and I don't think I can really lock all those in. I don't know that I can get it any closer than that. Let's try that, see what happens. Still should be able to make it better. You know, get it into the mid to high 90s. Holgerson looking better. Bags not so much in terms of form. If the weather holds, I should be able to handle one more start and stop if I want it. May or may not. Down to 118 is Rodriguez. Gabler just behind, so definitely some faster times with a clear track and ultras. 98%. I'm going to stick with that. Why don't you just go out and show them how it's done? And then Bags, 97%. Going to stick with that too. You can go second. Okay. Now we're ready. Get your tire temps rolling upwards. Well, let's go up. Yep, perfect and just a bit high. You definitely got to drop this down. Looks like we're going to get back in the range plenty fast enough. Ooh, well, a little bit low, but good and good. That might be almost as good as perfect and overheated. Holgerson a little bit off the pace, but not bad. And she comes in fourth and is not happy with it. Not really competitive with the leaders. Bags only ninth. So that's still going to get us through. I will definitely want to be better for the next session. That's all we're planning on doing, so let's just roll through the rest of this. Bags down to 10th. Make it 12th. Ooh, boy. Starting to get a little dicey there. Still got a few cars below him. 13th. A few cars below him going out. Let's see. 3 cars. Kaluza, Capello, and Roberts confirmed to be worse. Okay, only one more to go here with Dutt. Looks like we made it. But not by much. 14th. And Holgerson down to 5th. Sandro Cruz has been fast lately and is fast again here today for Hammer. Cruz and Gabler, Hammer is sort of stepping up their game here towards the end of the year. They're still a distant 3rd, but not bad. Now, none of the bigs crash out. We actually set a time with Will Baggs, which we didn't manage to do last race. So as bad as it is for him to get 14th, it's much better than not getting through at all. Hammer 1st and 3rd, they're looking very strong. Spartan 6th and 9th, which is still better than us. Gabler, about a quarter of a second back. But Will Baggs, more like a full second. Well, not a full second, about 2/3 of a second. So, yeah, let's hope for better things in session 2. And we're going to be looking to get 2 runs in. We're going to want to wait a couple minutes. It's going to rain. So no, we don't want to wait a couple minutes. So make sure we get out there and get a solid run on dry tires. Now maybe we have a chance later after the rain, and maybe we don't. Probably not. But either way, for the moment, the play is to get a run in before the weather turns. 10 minutes is not a huge amount of time to play around with. So maybe we could wait a little bit longer to get, slightly better conditions before the rain starts. Blah, 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 blah. But the weather report's not that accurate. And, well, we just want to make sure we get through our lap before the rain hits. So Holgerson will be, it looks like, setting the pace. Or one of the first cars through, anyway. And a bit of traffic here. Well, that's faster than anybody went last time, I do believe. Or, no, maybe it's not. Don't remember for sure the times before. Baggs not winning any awards. No. Yuck from his point of view. I don't think that's going to be good enough. And here comes the rain, so we just barely made it in time, and the rain isn't going to go away. So we're just, we're stuck with what we got here. See how Trenoweth and Edwards do, but I'm going to guess badly. Yeah, the cars that waited a bit, they're going to be slower, and the rain is killing the grip and the times. So there's really nothing we can do to improve on this. We got cars that are going to go back out, but I don't think they're going to get anything from it. I don't think you can, given where the weather's at. So Holgerson going out first gave her the best time by quite a bit. Nope, not going to happen. You can see nobody improving on their times. It's just too wet out there. So just not going to accomplish anything. Save the chairman the money of the fuel and the tires and every other darn thing. So we accomplished getting through because we're first and ninth. So Bags moves on to day 3, or session 3 rather I should say, as now the track is soaked. So we wait for the cars to complete their circuit here. Just follow along with Jarita Dutt, who's last in the row and injured. There it is, and we'll focus on Mia Holgerson, who sets the time to beat. And again, none of the bigs going away. Second and third were Sevilla and Lori. And the Hammer people both coming through. But yeah, I mean, Holgerson was almost half a second faster than Cruz's best time the first day. So Holgerson laid down one heck of a time. Third session. And it's clear. I thought I still saw rain on the screen there for a moment, but it's clear. Let's take a look at our weather today. It says it's going to stay clear. And I don't think we can fit in 3 runs at this. You figure a minute 20 a lap. So that's going to, you know, if we run out now, it would be 4 minutes, take us down to 6. Run out again, it would be 2. One of them, one driver could probably get in 3 shots at it. Second one wouldn't be able to. We got lots of tires. And I don't care that much what happens to Will Baggs, so what the heck. I'm going to send Mia out there and try to get in 3 with her. Grip is going to get better as the day goes on, so this is of limited use. But you know, you do what you can. I'm not entirely sure I can't get in 3 with Bags, but I don't think I can. So it's going to be just coming back in and going right back out unless the weather changes. In and out as quick as we can change the tires. And we hit our marks for the temperature on the first try, which is of course the least important try. Track conditions will be improving, and therefore times expected to accelerate. Holgersen improving, 5.8, Bags still down. So it looks like we're going to get a solid performance from Holgersen, a subpar 1 from Bags, if these forms continue. $118.4. She says that was a good one. Of course, I do believe the grip was better yesterday when she set a much faster time. But Gabler goes lower, as does Rodriguez, although a couple drivers also coming in after. So Holgersen's not good, not bad, but she's definitely got some work to do. Parisi just ahead. Bags by far the worst. And he's down to a frankly average 2.5-star driver. And Hashimoto winning. But again, all of that is Lori also ahead of Holgersen. They're all coming in after her, though, which means they had slightly better conditions. So, you know, there's only so much to worry about with that. Yeah, I'm quite confident that we're just not going to be fast enough to get Bags a third try, so he's either going to do something special with this one, or he's going to finish, you know, 10th. Is up to 5.0, so he's at least going to be in decent form. Let's see if we can get him some solid temperatures to deal with. Yes, indeed. Holgersen definitely want to improve on 6th. I want her on the first row or two at a minimum. And she starts out a hair ahead of Hashimoto's pace. Has the fastest second sector, still ahead of Hashimoto's pace, but not by much, 0.02. And sets the fastest lap by 0.03 of a second. Lost most of it at the end, but not all of it. Bags also looking to set an improved time. And it was improved, but his third sector left a lot to be desired. And he's in 8th, up to row 4 for now, but I think he'll finish in row 5. Expect Cruz to run a much lower time this time around. Holgersen working her way back in, and is probably going to just be in time. I hope. This is going to be really close for her. No point in even sending Bags back out. And Holgersen might not make it either. It's going to be tight. Will we get that third attempt? And for now, she's still on the pole. So it's even a question of, will we even need that third attempt? And of course, if she can hang on to that stupid 0.003 of a second, or beat anybody that's coming out after her, that would be 2 points. 2 valuable points as we try to lock down this championship. Bags down to 9th. But it doesn't look like what Holgersen does is even going to matter. Everybody else is finished or coming in. And Holgersen is going to be on the pole. Now we're just seeing if she can improve that time, and so far, a good start, 400ths ahead of her own pace. Second sector's where she was best. And went even faster this time, 600ths. There it is. 500ths of a second faster overall. On the pole, just made it bigger gap over Hashimoto and Lori. Well, that was very nice. Wins the second and third rounds of qualifying with her new and improved engine. The donkeys are running hammer? I don't think so. But XBC Sport, Luke Finley Maxwell says we're looking imperious. A seriously hot lap, says CSN. All right. Good weather to start, but heavy rain was predicted. So let's take a look. Well, if it's coming, it's not coming yet. So we'll start on Ultras, want to switch to the Supers. Supers and race trim for both drivers. As we start in first and ninth. I think this is the worst I've done after getting to the first setup. So where are we at with the tires? 15 to 17. And for Will, 13 to 15. Okay, so definitely going to have to come in twice. There's no question about that. So the question is really on the fuel. And each lap of fuel, 0.076 seconds saved, versus takes 1 second to add a lap of fuel. So in order for it to be worth taking them out, we'd have to make it through 13 laps. And neither driver are going to make it much further than that. I think I want to ride... I want Holgersen to sort of stay in front. So I'm going to take her down to half. But I want to ride heavy with you know, Bags, and if he falls back, so be it. Because he's going to be stuck in traffic anyway. So I just don't think it's going to pay to make him lighter. But Holgersen, I'm okay with making her lighter, so she can stay out there in front. And we're going to fry our tires to begin this thing. So Holgersen at 6 alongside Hashimoto of 5. Lori looking sharp behind, but Gabler only a 3. Then Rodriguez and Parisi both good, etc., etc. Bags down here with the poor-looking Stevenson in the 5th row. And we're going to want to go hybrid, of course, right away. And Holgersen trying to bolt away from the start. Bags staying in 9th. Now slipping to 10th behind Stefansson. We'll see if his faster tires are enough to hold off the bevy of super soft drivers behind. I would hope so, but we will see. And maybe not. Okay, and the tire's already baking. Let's go conserve. We just can't. Yeah, they're baking. Ultra softs don't last long. See if we can hold at neutral, though, for any length of time. As Hashimoto using speed burst to try to catch up, and it's not working. Well, it wasn't. Now it is. Looks like Hashimoto now going to take the lead. Maybe. It's a battle. It's still a battle. As Holgersen with the inside line around these turns, and I think we might have survived her speed burst there. Yeah. Used up most of the energy. Okay, so we're going to switch out of hybrid. Let it go down a little bit lower with bags. And why am I still baking? Go neutral. Or medium. Take bags down to 70 and then I'll switch him over. It looks like I can basically hold it neutral on the tires for now. Although we'll see now that it's up to 19 degrees. But nothing but dry weather at the moment. And bags still right in the middle of a pack here. And just holding his ground in the middle at only 4 on the form. Holgersen quite solid at 5.8. And about a second lead on Hashimoto and Lori. Tires may be heating up just a hair, but if they are, not much. And of course, the one thing about Holgersen riding in front is she's not going to gain any energy at all. But she will still be faster after using up the fuel. Yep, and we are heating up the tires just a bit. We're going to go conserve here, and we've got enough of a lead that let's conserve there as well. And temperatures should drop pretty quickly, so I shouldn't have to do a lot of this. Yep, that should be enough. Let's go neutral. And we could try to make the tires last longer, but I don't really have an interest in doing that. Okay, we are going to hit some rain. Around lap 25 or so. So let's take a look, because we're going to have to pit once. And those are going to last however long we want them to. Okay. So we're gonna have to pit once. There's no way we're gonna make it on these current tires. And we've only got the 5% on the Ultras. So I think we just want to pit and come back out on more Ultras. Because they'll get us to that rain. So we're going to go for however long we can, pit, come back out on Ultras, then pit again at lap 25 out of 48. Might end up being a 3-stop race. But we've got to do 2 stops here at the beginning. Let me just double check. Yeah, we've got the 5% bonus increase. If it was 10% or more, okay, but I just don't think there's a reason, a good enough reason to just stay out. It's going to stay at the same temperature. Neutral only slightly heats them up. So I just don't think there's a good enough reason to not use We'll go conserve here a bit more with bags, not use the ultras. So, that whole idea of going super softs, not working out so much. And of course, bags with all his fuel, that carrying that much fuel really turning out to be a unsuccessful maneuver now for him. Holgersson still looking safe, a second ahead of Lori now in second, and then Hashimoto. Bags not driving well, carrying a bunch of extra fuel, struggling in the middle. But on the other hand, when he comes in, I think he's going to have a quick stop, because I don't think he's going to take on any fuel. Fighting with Tanaka, as Hashimoto has already come in. Doesn't waste any time. The bag still drops back to 11th. And yeah, I think both drivers now need to go conserve a bit more. Let's let that drop a little bit lower. That'll be good. Go hybrid on Holgersson, who's getting a little bit low there. And let's see for bags how much he's going to use up here. 30% on the tires, 29%. Probably going to want to come in this lap. Yeah, we're going to want to do that. So let's go come in. Some fresh super softs. That should get us to the rain. Yep, still looking at like lap 25, 26. So maybe we want to get about 14 laps. And we've got more than enough fuel to get there, so we're not going to add any. It's just come in, change the tires, get back out, 3-second stop. And Holgersson and Lori 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Holgersson has definitely slipped in her driving. And Lori trying to take advantage of that. And looks like he will. Yep. Goes to first. Want to run neutral and harvest for bag. That's right where we want to be. And yeah, I want Holgersson to come in. About 60% on the battery. I want to get 13, 14 laps out of this. Might not quite need this much, but I'm going to go up to 7 laps of fuel. 3.9 on the timer. Lori is going to stay out. We are not. And Holgerson comes out in 14th and 15th now. Not going to win us any awards. If we finished out of the points, we would see Spartan slash our lead basically in half. So we've got some work to do from here. Of course, Lori and Sevilla will still need to stop before the rain. Gabler and Rodriguez coming in. I want to stay at neutral on the tires because I only want to have to conserve them when absolutely, when I need to. And the drivers that are going out on super softs right now, I think are making a mistake. Just because of the weather. 5-1 for Bags now, so he's up to running decently, but, Holgerson has slipped. And Bags several seconds behind. And, boy, Holgerson just barely behind is Lori now, coming out of the pit, and will probably make this pass. I don't want to push anything now. If I'm going to push, it'll be later. So Hashimoto, the fastest that's driven, but going to have to go in again. The fastest that's pit. So right now, it's Holgerson and Lori for the race lead, with Bags third. Looking at it from a long-term perspective, Holgerson down to 3.5 and yet not fading. And there goes Hashimoto just ahead, trying to fight through some traffic. I'm surprised that Lori hasn't made more of a push here. And there's Holgerson. Boy, look at that. 3 wide, and there goes Lori. Oh, you have not. You just fell behind the Spartan. That's Lori. Oh, my goodness. Well, boy, Holgerson sure got the worst end of that deal. Oh, boy, Bags is maxed out on the energy. Let's not let that happen. And now Holgerson gets by him. Up to 5th. But definitely has slipped to 2nd overall, with Bags 3rd as Hashimoto's about to come in. I don't see any way Hashimoto stretches this out to when the rain shows up, so I'm just assuming that's not going to happen. Bags has a bit of space. I want to run some conserving on him at the moment. At least until Rodriguez gets within a second. Rodriguez has slower tires. Yeah, that gap's even growing. What about Holgerson? Right behind Lori, but we're gonna I want to conserve there as well. Yeah, our form's dropping. Up to 3rd. Trenoweth a couple seconds back, so let's just run some conserving there. Bags up to 5th. So right now we'd be pretty much even. And pretty much even is a win for us at the moment. Let's switch over to harvest. And I think that should be low enough on the tire temps. A bag still with plenty of fuel. But I want to only go down to about a lap left on Holgerson. Then I'll have her run some hybrid. So we're 3rd and 4th. In reality, 2nd and 3rd. It's just a matter of time till Jarita Dutt comes in for another stop. I would think. I'm not going to harvest much up this far anyway. Probably should have gone hybrid before. Bags has enough fuel. Just keep him rolling. Use that fuel up just to be faster. Yep, and there goes Dutt, now going to come in. Be interesting to see how this next set of stops goes. Holgersson 2nd, Bags 3rd. Now, if we were to hold this, Lori wins, fine. Then we'd be even for the race, and we would win the race based on that pole for Holgersson. So, finishing 2nd and 3rd here, very acceptable. Nope. Not yet. Three seconds plus the gap to Lori, another 5 plus back to Bags, who has a 3-second or so lead on Rodriguez. So we're spreading out here. And it's the rain's coming in not long. It doesn't look like it's going to stop either. But based on the water flow, definitely inters are the tire to have. So let me just take a look at their endurance. At 20 laps at most. We're gonna wanna do a 2-stop thing with them. We're going to do 2 stints, so one at around lap 25, and then another lap 36, 37. Get about 12 laps out of 2 stints. It's going to be a 3-stop race. And we got some cars already out on inters, which is dumb. They're going to lose all kinds of time. And now the rain starts. It's light. I think we want to... let Holgersson go around again for sure. It's going to stay light. Let them both go around again. Let's have Bags come in this time. Switch to inters. and only get a few laps. I don't see him needing more than 2 more laps of fuel. And Holgersen will go around one more time after that. As it is not, the water is not coming that fast. And Laurie's still coming around as well. So then we will go inters. We're not going to have a whole lot left. Maybe 3 laps of charge. We'll go with 9 laps of fuel, and then we can always add to that later. And I dumbly wasn't positive that I got the tires right. Okay, now we'll see how the inters do temperature-wise. The bags comes out in 10th. Much of the field still not on them, and it's, you know, it's getting wetter, but it's not too bad. About a 1/10 of a lap of fuel. Not a whole lot left for Mia. Really ran that down. And now I'm going to spend some extra time in here picking up some fuel. Bags moving up through the field. And Holgersen is 7th, Bags 8th, just behind. And the fact that he didn't have to pick up nearly as much fuel really closed that gap. He also has far less fuel right now because he's got more energy. And now we're cruising through. I mean, there's Sevilla. And look at this. Bags and Holgersen head to head. And tire temperature actually dropping, so we'll be able to push these. Laurie going in, gonna repair as well. That could be a break for us. I mean, all the cars ahead on dry tires, we could be looking at a 1st and 2nd place thing here. It's too early to say it, but yeah, temperature's dropping. I want to push. I want both drivers to push, and we also need to switch on to hybrid with Bags. Second and third now, Gabler, the only one ahead. And making that catch now. I do not understand staying out on dry tires in these conditions. I seriously do not understand it. So if we stay 1st and 2nd like this, yeah, I mean, We could be all but locking this up here. Should be a beautiful, beautiful thing. Switch to harvest for just a bit more. Let's go back down to neutral with Holgersen. Bags 5-1, Holgersen only 3-5. Could this be Will Baggs' first win of the season? At 40 years old, average 2.5-star rating. It is not out of the question. He's under a lap of fuel though, so he needs to get back on hybrid and stay there. But look at that lead. We're blowing everybody else away. Only Blasi foolish enough to stay out on dry tires yet. Yeah, it's going to get wetter. But not wet enough for long enough. Like there's maybe a 3 or 4 lap period there where wets are probably better. Maybe even longer than that. Maybe, you know, but inters are at least as good, if not better, for that final stretch. Baggs running lighter and pulling away from Holgersen. Of course, as far as the team goes, we could care less who ends up winning this. We got Laurie in 13th, Sevilla in 15th. So the two Spartan drivers really screwing up that exchange, and they're far enough behind that we don't need to worry about them. Just a few laps now to our final switch. I think I want to put in Baggs at 36 and Holgersen at 37. It looks like the gap is starting to shrink now. Let's go push for at least a little bit more. Now it's back up to 2 seconds. And he's about hitting the temperature there. Holgersen has a little bit more to go. And now getting close herself. We're getting around to lapping Capello of all things. Okay, so Baggs is going to have 12 laps to go. So I believe we need 8 laps of fuel. And I'm not going to assume any charging in this, because they're going to be, I think we're going to stay close to the front. So we're just going to want to assume that we don't get to charge any. And we've got enough of a lead on the other drivers that there's absolutely no point in risking anything. They turn on the lights for heavy rain. And Holgerson's going to have to go hybrid for just a bit before she comes back in. Lead down to 1 second. So Baggs should be coming in here. Holgerson takes the lead for the moment. Let's go hybrid for that last lap. And let's set up our final tire change. 11 laps. So we need 7. Baggs still good enough to come out in 2nd position. Be very interesting to see how close it is coming out of this pit stop. Jarita Dutt going wide, which I don't think is going to affect us a whole lot. And right now we're at the worst part where cars with wets could possibly gain on us. Yep, again, right behind. Very similar amounts of energy, very similar amounts of fuel. Now, the interesting thing about this is Holgerson is actually going to gain a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of energy, whereas Baggs will gain nothing. She'll have slightly fresher tires. She's up to 5.0. Baggs down to 3.3. So I would not bet against Mia catching them. Okay, lap 39. 10 laps to go. Seems to be right behind. Yep. I'm just going to let them race. Now our gap is significant. Gabler's might try to last it out with those tires. Almost 10 seconds behind. Parisi, no chance. Holgerson close enough there to weave and try to make the pass, but not close enough to actually make it. And Gabler definitely catching us. Baggs being in front and not driving well could really hurt the overall speed that we've got going. Let the other drivers make progress. Eight laps to go. Hashimoto going in for pit stop number 4. Even more than us. It's the third thing you can count on life after death and taxes. It's Chiasi Hashimoto. Hashimoto pitting as often, if not more often than anybody else, and pitting first. Because of how aggressively Atsuno always has her driving. Well, it's time for Bags to go push. Won't be long until Holgersen does. And this traffic here with Capello could mess things up. Stefansson and Trenowith, last couple drivers, they're also going in. This Wolfhagen Racing, really? Your Wolfhagen Racing. Boy, Capello just came out of the pits and has issues. And Holgersen having trouble getting by regardless, as we have 6 laps remaining. And now the water's starting to go down. Gabler only 6 seconds back, though. Not a complete afterthought. Okay, let's push with Holgersen now on the tires. Still less than a second. Holgersen with slightly less fuel. But both drivers really just wanting to run down the fuel. And I'm not going to push with either one of them because that would just cancel things out. And also when it's raining, makes a crash more likely. Driving aggressively makes a crash more likely. So why increase that tiny risk of a crash just to see who wins? No. Not going to do that at all. So we could go a little lower, but I'm going to let both drivers go down to whenever they hit 1 lap of fuel, they'll go hybrid. Just make it even like that. My guess is, in this weather, I think Will Baggs is going to hang on to this. Get his first win of the year. 4 laps to go. We're down from soaked to wet as it continues to decrease, with only light rain now. And actually the rain's going to stop completely at the end of the race, but we're not going to dry out. And there's Holgersen going hybrid. And now Baggs will go hybrid with 5% less energy. And that's interesting because they're going to run out. Just before the end of the race, they're going to run out. Or no, probably have just enough. It's going to be really tight. And now Baggs has to go back neutral. He's up to 4.2, and Holgersen at 4.9. Holgersen's got a little more temp in those tires. Can she use that to make a push? And right now the answer is no. Yeah, now she's going to have to go neutral. 2 seconds back. So it's looking like the superior car of Will Baggs. And Mia not taking her opportunities. You know, carrying all that extra fuel he had at the beginning. It hurt him at the beginning, but it really paid off there in the middle of the race when he got just ahead. That was interesting. You see, Lori has crept up into 6th and is going to try to move higher. Sevilla 7th, so Spartan trying to get some points here. But either way, I mean, a perfect race for us except for the fastest lap. We got the pole, we got first place, we got second place. Last lap, let's ride along with Will Baggs as he brings it home. Not a virtuoso driving performance by either party, but enough to get the job done. First and second. Baggs ran out of energy. Holgerson had 5% remaining. Laurie finishing 5th. Sevilla down in 8th. So Laurie the only driver from Spartan, giving them a couple points. And handling the weather, the stop changes for that. That's what made the difference for Wolfhagen today. And there it is, Will Baggs, the winner. Never thought I would say that, especially not this late in the season. Makes me wish I had picked a higher level sponsor, but of course I don't really need the money. 6 places for Dutt, down to 4th to 10th. Ouch, after being caught cheating. And Riku Tanaka gets the fastest lap. Each of our drivers bringing in significant points. 10 for Baggs with the win, Holgerson with 8, 6 for second and the pole. Gabler, the winner of the last race, comes in 3rd for Hammer. Holgerson now pretty strong hold on that first place position. Baggs gets back in front of Gabler for 3rd. That one could go down to the end. And we have a strong 36-point lead. Will Baggs blew them all away. Again, never thought I would say that. Getting a little bit of money for the profit there. Okay, so with 2 races to go, 36-point lead, Yokohama and then Doha. And we have a chance to clinch in Yokohama. 40 points with double points available in Doha. So we'd have to win in Japan by 5 points or more over Spartan. Hammer's irrelevant now. They can't beat us. We'd have to win by 5 or more over Spartan to clinch before the final race, which we would still need to do, but you know, I could do it off screen if we do manage that. Otherwise, we'll have to do them both. And then after that, it'll be on to the next challenge. Now, it's not totally over, but you know, we would have to have Spartan do basically even with us or better in Yokohama, and then in Doha have an utter and complete disaster. You know, like Holgerson crashes and Baggs has a lousy race, or I make some colossally dumb mistake. That's the kind of thing that it would take now for us to lose this. So it's not mathematically over, but practically speaking, it should be. Should be over. And really nice, again, to have Will Baggs get that first win. So, 2 races to go. I'll be back with Yokohama next time. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap this up soon.